it's a beep, beep. As soon as we hit the power button, we can never get to this place here. It's going to stop here. So we need to go into our BIOS to run tests on our hard drives here. If it's running super hot, and soon as you power it up, you may see this window here, this Dell picture right here. You may see that, and then it automatically crashes and goes away, and nothing comes up. That means that we need to go in here to our BIOS and run some tests. This is going back to, if we're doing my slides, if we're going through our process here, if we see that's the problem, we identified the problem, then we're gonna tell that person, hey, we need to take a closer look at that. I'm gonna give you a different computer. I'm gonna take this back to the office and take a look at it. We're gonna run tests on it, because that's more of, I don't know exactly what the problem is, and it's gonna take me more than a couple of minutes to actually run through it and figure it out. It is F12 on some systems. It is F2 on some systems. It's F8 on some systems. It's the escape button on some systems too. So sometimes, honestly, if F2 or F12 is not working to take you into a BIOS, Google it. Look at what
or
type of system you got, and Google to see what key do I need to press in order to get to the BIOS. Jonathan.
or F1.
Or F1. It's a ton of them. Now, mobile device wise, I don't think you could go into your firmware. I haven't been in there. And I'm thinking that if you had to update, typically when Apple, and you could read it on Apple products, when they send their updates out and that they have that little red one on the gear, you can look at the patch notes and see that they want to update the firmware. That's why it needs to go through a kind of a cycle of reboots. And so it's fixing that piece of software that we're not even really paying attention to. All right. Now, secure boot. When I forgot who said it, I think it was you, Calm. I'm not too sure, but you said you can go into safe mode. This is where we're kind of at with that type of boot process, where we could put in a secure boot where we set. I'm going back to my logical picture here. We could set a password here, right? Put a lock. We could put a password here. I'm gonna lock it. And before someone even gets to the Windows machine and have to put their password here, they have to know this particular password to get past the BIOS and then start the process. See, to your point, Jonathan, this is what I'm talking about, of knowing different ways of causing security may be more cost effective too. This is already on your machine, but yet, it's also the job of the vendor to sell you their product. But okay, move on, move on,
for
move on.
for 1995.
Moving on. Secure boot. All right. Trusted platform modules. That's when we're putting encryption on our PCs, right? So we can do, nowadays we do not OneDrive. Microsoft has, oh God. What is the encryption called? Y'all bear with me. I'm having that moment. BitLocker. BitLocker is uh the software that we can use to encrypt the hard drive. So when it comes to encryption, and we'll get into this, of course, in Security Plus, but encryption is just really um, taking some data that's readable, making it unreadable by applying an algorithm and a key of some sort. Think of it as just putting some data behind a locking key. And in order for you to look at that data, you need the key, which is typically going to be a password, to access it. And in the TPM, this is where we can do those things. Also with the hardware security module, the HSM. So whenever we see TPM and HSM, know that we're talking about encryption and we're talking about activating those things in the BIOS. All right, 3C troubleshooting power and disk issues. So we already talked about the beeping. But also, if we're talking about troubleshooting power, of course, if no lights are coming on, you don't hear a fan kind of spin up. Sometimes with these desktops, you hit the power button and then you'll get a quick surge to the fan. And the fan kind of spins up and then dies down. Maybe if that fan is constantly high, maybe you might want to think there's a lot of surge going to that fan at that point in time. Might want to look into that. Of course, if you don't see